Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome back to a Super Chat Square Up. We're going to get right to it. This is from The Lord of the Rings back on February 13th. It's got a few questions here. Never cut your beard, otherwise you'll lose your wisdom. Well, I will try not to do that. The last time I did it was when I thought I had to go to a job interview and cut it there for Tesla, which I turns out I didn't need to do. But that was the last time, and that was 2017, I think. Yeah. We got, and that's from Irene Theodoricus. No, Zakuboy for $5 says, those antler things are just two hunters. That's how you field bundle prey. Okay, so they're hunters. Yeah, they're just human hunters. And yeah, they did explain that a little bit. We're talking about the Lord of the Rings trailer. That after, well, it depends on where they are in the Second Age. So they're talking about that being, I guess, early on in the Second Age where everybody's spread out because of the War of Wrath, right? But we're going over a 2-week period, 3-week, month, 2 months, I don't know, a year. But they said one time period that's not going to be thousands of years. So yeah, they're just saying people are spread out. Jack White for $5. When I see these people like coats, I think of one of the themes in Nuratu about the cycle of pain. I don't know anything about Nuratu other than I just heard it on Tim Pool that the killing stone has been broken in Japan. Yes, this is a true story. The killing stone, which is supposedly has an evil spirit in it, broke this month, like in the last 7 days. Jester of Roanoke for $2. One more clown horn from the old room, Gary. Sorry, but I'll give you the clown room. It's from the new room. Hang on. If my thing wants to work, which it does. There you go. There you go. Sir Maros, sorry, for $4.99. As if you want great lore vids, check out Archeer. I am not sure how to pronounce this name. Archeer or Arakir Galudrathon. Galudrathon. Got to put a little Tolkien in there, which is like Celtic or some whatever he puts into his language. I can never do it. I can roll my R's once in a while, but that's because of, well, my proximity to Mexico, where I grew up. Ty Sloan for $4.99. Thoughts on Daisy Ridley getting possibly recasted? What do you mean recasted? She's done. Like in life? Yeah, I don't know. Ray being recast. Well, I've got nothing against Daisy Ridley. She's kind of a sprite. She seems kind of cute and nice. I think she's blandly average. And that's the nicest thing I can say about her performance in The Force Awakens. I saw her in that Agatha Christie movie. Kenneth Branagh directed it. Murder on the Orient Express. Was that? I can't remember which one it was. There was a murder somewhere. And she was fine in that. She was fine. Captain Day After Day for $4.99. Strong female character, larger than life characters, fantastical creatures, fantasy setting, representation. That whole exotic show looks amazing. Rick N for $2. As is it's the masks that they wear inside. Yes, and he's talking about the lovely identitarians, the activists. Don Lemon the elf shooting his bow like a urka. David Fox for $5. Hashtag tokens for Tolkien. Paul Hemist for $6.99. Where is the left calling for hashtag halftime so black only goes one way? Maybe. Well, yes, it always only goes one way. All right. I've got an article I'm going over in my next video. And I know what the activist was trying to say when Mariana Maldonado said that, well, she co-wrote the article. So she said that she wants it normalized. We want non-white characters normalized. Well, that's happened already. It's not 1960. And I know what she was trying to say. She was trying to say less white folk. And depending on the story, I don't have a problem with that. I don't need to see white folk in every story to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, there doesn't need to be a white folk in the story for me to enjoy it. We're talking about the overcorrection. We're talking about racism, the actual racism that they being the activists, CRT activists, who say doesn't exist because you can't be racist against white folk, which is categorically false, despite definitions being changed. That doesn't mean the world isn't unfair. It doesn't mean that there hasn't been struggle with large groups of people. Does not mean that at all. It just means you're fighting racism with racism. That's all. Declane Lyons for €5 says Gary's Spanish is worse than Bender's audition for All My Circuits in Futurama. Oh yeah, I never said I don't know any Spanish. I very little. ¿Dónde está el baño? ¿Dónde está la cocina? Yeah. Necesito cargar en su boca. Not applicable for $5. Shout out to Dr. Alex on YouTube having preserved Stephen Moore's recordings of Hitchhiker. Oh, that's awesome. Please go visit to watch his trailer out of your brain. Oh, were they not preserved? That's interesting because I do believe, God, maybe I'm misremembering. It's been a long time. Audiobooks have been around a long time. And one of the first ones I listened to like constantly, and this was even back in my drugging days. So I would just smoke a big ass bowl at the end of every day because I was a fucking terrible like speed addict, but I'd want to sleep. So at the end of the day, I'd smoke a big ass bowl and I'd turn on Hitchhiker, stay awake for about 15 minutes of it, take a little trip. Yeah. Actually, those days sucked, but I did enjoy listening to Hitchhiker. El Chain de Saw for $5 says Los Bolidos in San Antonio for San Diego style Mexican food. You're welcome. Okay, Los Bolidos. That will be noted. And yeah, we're trying to figure out. Can I just note that on a? Yeah, why not? I'll just write it on some money. Los Bolidos. Somebody in a couple of years will go, why did this guy misspell the name of the restaurant on the side of a bill? There you go. Thank you. Gandalf used to be a woolman, but transitioned upon entering into Middle-earth through the magic of Manwë. Sauron is responsible for the mostly peaceful protest the Lion Elves call the War of the Ring, says Callison Ilarian for $10. Obviously, there's another perspective. We're hearing from another voice, another perspective. That's so nice. That's so nice. Tyrannus Cygnus for $5. Evil will always triumph because good is dumb. Isn't that from Spaceballs? And see, after this, the new Narnia can look like Fraggle Rock, says Rick N for $5. Yes. Yes, indeed. Buck Jackson for $5. Nope. Not even the first episode, as I won't watch it. They have burnt me too many times. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. And you know, like I think I do believe Eric July is still debating The Amazing Lucas right now. I was watching it for like an hour while I was hanging up all these. Hang on, we'll go to the full screen here. All that, all that. So I'm like, the goal is tonight to get to that side of the wall, which would be no problem. I'm finally into the Doctor Who figures, but Eric July has been going round and round and round with The Amazing Lucas. And about Miles Morales, who, by the way, Miles Morales is Miles Morales and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That's just a fact. That's a factual statement. What was I thinking? No, I was going to make a point. Oh yeah. So Eric July said that the only thing, like what's lost in this is Ryan's comments and everything. And he's like, well, the only thing I disagree with Ryan is going to see the movie. I say, fuck all that shit. Now, see, this is something I vehemently disagree with Eric on completely. We agree on the summation, right? Like the shit needs to change, right? It needs to change, and it needs to change through either competition or us infiltrating and changing it. My belief is we need to do both. Change will not happen because not everybody's going to quit. If I seriously thought that if we just all stopped, change would come, I would do it. But we're not there yet. We have a lot of informing to do, and we do that informing through our videos. And through our informing, we can lead, or we lead ourselves, or better yet, you lead us, which is usually the case. I say we can lead. Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That's categorically bullshit. It's you guys leading us to other avenues, other independent avenues, or making your own. But that only happens when we are doing this together, right? So, if we just stopped roasting woke bullshit, they would just keep making it. And if anything, this Lord of the Rings clapback has got to show you that yes, it does work. And listen, people have reached out to me, okay? And as I've said from the beginning, I'm not really interested in interviewing actors or getting or interviewing creatives. I mean, I've worked with them. I've technically been one for a very little while, but I am customer, audience, fan oriented. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm ever going to be. And I still believe after time, things could possibly change. We have to try, because if a lot of people have already walked away and it hasn't changed shit yet. So until we have legitimate competition, and I'm willing to support it at the ground level, I have financially, I have by promoting stuff on the channel, I have by trying to get the word out on some other things as much as I can. But we have yet to see something that can legitimately compete. And once we do, I'll be there. And I am all behind the Rippaverse. And I think he needs to do that. And I think I believe it's his focus. He can do a lot of things at once, things I can't do, because Eric's a brilliant guy. He's a Renaissance man. But we can disagree on that one issue. But the overall, whatever, we agree with on the summation. That shit has to change. And if shit doesn't change, well, we saw what happened. I mean, like, when I was saying in Star Trek reviews back in 2018 and 19 that this divisiveness is going to lead to blood on these streets. And people thought I was fucking insane. And you know what? When I first said it, I thought I was insane too. And then it happened like way faster than I thought it would. Now, there was a lot of reasons behind that. There was the coof and the incident in Minnesota with Mr. Floyd. And what exacerbated those situations was the divisiveness that was being pumped through all of our entertainment and our media and everything. And in the beginning, I was just like, hey, let's just not do it. Let's just entertain people. But now you see that there was a concerted effort. Now, and at the end, was it to buy larger mansions? Possibly. Our first look at the Numenorian city, and it looks like a slightly prettier King's Landing. Should have looked like Minas Tirith times 10. Yeah, I don't know if that was Numenor. Maybe. Just some guy thought it was the Grey Havens. I thought it might have been Linden. But we'll find out. That's why I wasn't like, it could be a lot of things. We did see the land of Linden, but we didn't see like any structure. And I don't know if there is any structure. I can't remember if it's not going to be like, we'll find out. I can promise you. Well, I can't promise you. All right. I can't say that, but I'm keen to guess, a very educated guess, that we're going to get like CW type of writing with this. There's been a couple of script leaks. I don't know if they're true or not, but considering I saw somebody from Star Trek Discovery on the writing staff, that's all I need to know. They could easily have set their entire series in the east of Middle Earth. The lore only slightly touches on some things over there. Yes. In my video, I talk about like, if you want to have diversity, there is certainly ways you can do it. And like, even if they did it with the elves, and I'm talking like olive skin and like, sure, but that's not even diverse. Okay. We're talking olive skin. That's as dark as Tolkien meant, by the way. Now, do I know this for a fact? No. But if I had to bet my life on it, I'd say that, because I was watching an hour-long interview with Ian McKellen to see what the context was when he said that we're all pretending. There's some things I disagree with Ian McKellen on. There's some things he pioneered that I absolutely agree with him on 1,000%. I think the guy's got a great perspective, whether you disagree or not. It's an 83-year-old man who's been through some shit, top of his craft, somebody I respect, and somebody should be listened to. And like, I think he agreed with getting rid of gender association with acting, and he thinks it's stupid anyway with award shows. So he said, sure, get rid of it because they're all stupid. That I agree with. I totally agree with. But in watching that, he was asked by the interviewer, like, does he judge his parents? Does he judge the people of the time, for the attitudes towards gays in the what was it, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s? And he said, absolutely not. He had such a wise point of view of this, because he said that it was just the framework of society. And he had to play into it because he was closeted, and other people had to play into it, and people have apologized to him, and he said it wasn't necessary. And it was just such a evolved point of view on that, like, and he's just like, he's happy. He's like grateful. You hear the gratitude. He's like, hey, I can live my life. He said, it's never been a big deal with me. It's just part of my life. And and it's not my, he basically says it's not my entire identity. He's like, if anything, he wants to be known as an actor, I thought that was interesting. But the most interesting thing he said about his dad. specifically was this stuff never came up. It was just not in our framework. It just never came up. And that's it's a very long way of saying Tolkien was writing for himself and for his kids and his mythology for England. So all of this identity and shit did not come up when he was writing The Lord of the Rings, when he was writing The Hobbit, which were not supposed to, The Hobbit initially, wasn't really supposed to be part of his overall The Silmarillion. And he started changing his ideas a little bit like later in life in the late 70s. But as many have pointed out, including his son in an interview, that he was like way more in the metaphysical, the spiritual thing later on. And he was really trying to figure out like how would a immortal being, like how would they act? What would they be like? People might consider that a waste of time. I don't. I think that's interesting that he spent so much time on that. So long-winded answer, long-winded point, basically saying that Tolkien didn't think about this shit. Just didn't think about it. I'm sure the identitarians will judge him for that, but that was the framework of society at the time. That's why you cannot judge people from 100 years ago, 80 years ago. I mean, hell, some people might, I mean, I don't think they did, but some people might have considered him liberal back then. I mean, it's just shit changes. Okay. So, the fact that we're having these fucking conversations is Hollywood's fault. Hollywood overcorrected because Oscar's so white. And quite frankly, Hollywood, I've said this in the past, I'm not changing it. It's the most racist fucking place I've ever worked. Like, period. And I've worked in the auto industry, the fucking auto industry, you know? But like, I remember when I worked at Toyota. There was all races working there. None of it. We gave each other shit, stereotypical, fucking just flinging it all the time. Had a good time doing it. And that was all of 2016. So many years ago. Yeah, it's so fucked up that that we're having these conversations. Friday, we were breaking down Batman, and sure, we talked about the identity politics later. But the first, most of the show was just breaking out like what we liked and didn't like about the film, what worked and what didn't work. God, it was nice. And yeah, it might come up once in a while, but we're not going to break down the Ukrainian war. I guess people are going to talk about it because, like, whew, man, it came out of nowhere, didn't it? Really came out of nowhere. But no, escapism. We will try very hard to remain escapism. I agree with you. And make your own show instead of standing on the shoulders of a great man and shitting on them, says Buck Jackson for $5. Yeah, just make your own damn show. I mean, you've got the money. Amazon. Those two writers are the absolute image of Romulus and Remus from Doctor Who, The Twin Dilemma. Oh God, you're right. Base set Duke Trio. Thank you for the £5. Haven't talked about Doctor Who in a while. I think I'm just waiting for the Doctor to be announced. I know there's an episode coming up within a couple of weeks that I'll cover that I just flat out don't think anybody's going to watch. So there is some scuttlebutt that they'll announce. They've been auditioning the new Doctor for the last 3 months. So you'd figure they would have found it by now. Not going to watch Lord of the Woke, and at this point, anything out of Hollywood is woke until proven not, says Wall G for $5. They have lost the benefit of the doubt. You are correct. Lane from Canada for $10. There is no way that this incarnation of Elrond got jiggy with a female to produce Arwen. There was a sperm donor bank and a copy of Elf Beefcake magazine involved. Buck Jackson for $5. Gary, I don't even think anyone will sail the high seas for this show. A lifelong fan of Tolkien. I won't be watching. Yeah, it's going to be the cover, the dumpster fire. Look at how controversial it is now. Wait till we see the actual story. We ain't seen nothing yet. And I mentioned this in my review, or not review, my video, if it doesn't make the cutting room floor. So you might only be hearing it here. I have heard some major scuttlebutt that, I mean, again, this is very peripheral through emails that Amazon is shitting themselves right now. Don the Bow. By the way, I'll get back to that. That's why they only pulled the UK trailer and not the other ones. Not applicable for $2. Don the Bowen word. Oh boy. Geek Tripology for $2. You called it from day one. This looks soulless. Cheers. Not applicable for $2. Hashtag Kangs of the Rang. Darkstar 76 for $5. Why does she look cold? Why does she look cold? Why is she wrapped up? Elves don't feel the cold like humans. Oh my God. They do. They do. They actually I mean, they know. Well, I'll have to look. They did die though. A lot of them. The flight of the Noldor, there was deaths due to freezing to death. But I mean, it's free. Like humans could not have made that journey. Riff Magos for $5 Australian. Come on, as you gave us Mikey Spock, we need an epic nickname for the monstrosity. Well, I mean, that wasn't Az's. And I don't think Az would ever take credit for that. That was Doomcock coined Mikey Spock. Az has coined a lot of terms. I've coined a couple. Very proud of MCU. I will say that. I'm very proud of the MCU. And Adult Pretenders. Wayward Culture for $2. Dwarf Queen with the grill in thumbnail. Yeah, that was actually a rejected thumbnail from my God. I'm going on my 7th Lord of the Rings video in the last month, but yeah, I actually rejected it, and then I used it for the live stream, and the live stream did so fucking well. I kept it up, and damn, you guys are still watching it. I'm gonna do more Lord of the Rings live streams. Okay, I do believe. Drinker just asked me to do 2 towers on Thursday. We're going to be doing that again on the 20th anniversary. Wayward Culture for $2. Dwarf Queen with the grill. Oh, I read that one. Place your bets on what season Sauron ethnically cleanses Middle Earth for the Third Age. Joseph Fazio. Last 5 minutes of the last season. Miranda Sinistra Gorsuch is daddy for $10. Just some guy can legit speak Elvish. Yes, he can. Don't sell yourself short, Gary. You're a better scholar than any of the Amazon has right now. I appreciate that, but no, just some guy can speak Elvish. Like, I will defer to him. I'll even ask him things just to make sure. He does make a brief appearance in my next video. Just some guys made 2 fantastic videos on the subject. Robert Harmon for $5. Cultural appropriation at its finest. Absolutely correct, my friend. And that's why I'm pointing this out. These are the people saying, what? It's just a TV show. What's the big deal? All right, if it's not a big deal, then keep it the way it is. And why does everybody complain when, I don't know, when a white guy was playing an Asian actor in that damn Hellboy movie and I'm a giant Hellboy fan, and I haven't seen the David Harbour Hellboy movie. Mostly because I don't like him. I mean, he's a good actor, but he's just a garbage person. But Ed Sheeran was supposed to play a role, and he quit. And the movie did shit, by the way. I probably should watch it. But every time, like what happens when I go to watch these crappy movies is I go to something I like. I just end up going to something I like. I started to expand my collection on Tolkien's books. Use your mind as a safe haven. Hollywood cannot. Hashtag Hobbit Lives Matter. Hashtag Tolkien Lore Matters. Misha for $5. Absolutely. Reading books is working out your brain. Record of Lotus War, greater than Lord of the Rings of Power, Amazon Prime. Says Reveal Arvida for $5 Australian. It probably will be. Tobias Gregory for $100 Australian. Thank you, my friend. Gentlemen, I am once again prepared to wage a guerrilla war a la the children of Huron against the flooding hordes of evil inundating us. They had strong females, Tar Mareliel, anyone, but no. Evil cannot create, only pervert or destroy. I am demoralized, but not beaten. No. And Tar Muriel is Numenorian, and Numenorians did have queens. Numenorians were half elf. A lot of them had gray eyes, blue eyes. Now, I would, if they got a Numenorian that looked Mediterranean or something like that, I'd be fine. I have no problem with that. It's a race of men. You can mess around with that a little bit. I'm fine with that. Dwarves, elves, that's cultural appropriation, because they wouldn't do that with the lore of, I mean, I'm sorry, are we hearing if any Chinese film, were we talking about representation? Any South Korean film, were we talking about representation? Those are ethno states for the most part. And well, I mean, unless you're a Uyghur, the poor Uyghurs that get ignored as Hollywood grandstands right now. God, they're being stupid with this war stuff. Moss 499. Hale currently uploading my own analysis. Spoiler alert. Not a fan. This isn't Tolkien. This isn't Middle Earth. Anywho, keep being awesome. You too, Moss. I'll have to go check it out. Midnight's Edge After Dark for $2. They misunderstood with Precious what Lord of the Rings is about. That's a good one.
Where's the trigger? Where is it?
And that's it for
an ordinary citizen. Where is it? Where's the trigger? Where is it? Where is it?
Magnus Lord for $5. What are your thoughts on Batman's No Man's Land story arc worth $150 for Road to Volume 1? I think it's a good price. Are you going to get the Onslaught Omnibus? No, because I have all the comics. But if you can get it for like $100 is too much to pay. I think you can find it cheaper. It's a good story. Magnus Lord, thank you for the $5. Shiro for $3. I'm a PhD student, and I'm embarrassed every time they publish something like this. They are corrupted by ideology, and they are not true free thinkers. Hashtag academics, not your shield. Thank you, Shiro, for the $3. You are correct. It is just a piece of paper if people don't trust you, and if you aren't willing to at least look at the other side. Shiro for $3. Problem with Lord of the Rings experts is that they need Amazon to stay relevant. This is true. And so do a lot of Lord of the Rings channels. Can you imagine, the ones who rely on, who aren't lore, basically. Can you imagine being such a narrow person? You can't create something new and only riff off of what good forces have created. Exactly. Like the lore channels out there, they can do stuff till the end of time. There is enough lore there to go over to somebody can make a YouTube career off of, quite frankly. And even with the shit that is Lord of the Rings, enough people are interested to see what the real lore is that I wouldn't be surprised if people like Men of the West and Nerd Cookie see a bump. Meth Bear for $10. SJWs pay lip service to equity when they seek reprisal and degradation. Their inflexibility to pursue their schemes without regard to the sentiment of justice and virtue in them bears a semblance to selfishness. Correct. My favorite comic, Mouse Guard. Thank you, Meth Bear, for $10. Excellent. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast for $665. Hey, watch that South shit. You still have a ways to go to clear the slate for being a California. And hey, I cannot help where I was born. California used to be California. That's, I was born before the commie happened. But I was there. I couldn't do much to stop it, buddy. But I tried. Phoenix Tangent for $10. Shadversity shouted out Exure Gur on his most recent nightly news video and at around the 30-minute and 30-second mark. They love her in Australia. Well, who doesn't love Exure Gur? DFW Russ for $10. Anyone excited for Titan season 4? Honestly, no. Do y'all plan on doing reviews of the new season? No. Teen Titans is one of my favorite comics. It's one of my favorite stories. And that tells you how bad that show is for me to not watch it. And I understand there's a lot of fans of Dick. And in that show, Dick has had a hard time. Dick's had some up and downs. We've seen Dick overcome a lot. But basically, their treatment of Dick has been disrespectful. And I'm talking about Dick racism, of course. Warspite 666 for 1313. Hi, everyone. First time super chat. Would it be possible for you to start a like jar where everyone has to donate $1 if they say like out of context, then donate to charity of your choice? That's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm guilty of it too because I was born in California. Like, you know, Stetson's Gold for $5. Zoe needlessly shot herself in the foot. Wokeism is a fad like Pogs. Remember Pogs? I do. And you're right, Stetson Gold. Thank you for the $5. I do believe there was a clarification. And Zoe said she was misquoted, but then she went on to say that Hollywood is still racist. And, you know, I'm not going to argue with her on that. I think we might agree. You notice, like, okay, so they're changing all these ginger actors to black women. Yeah, I wonder when Hollywood's going to finally get to Latino and Asian. It seems like they can only do one race at a time. It's very tough for them. Manowar 665, the neighbor of the beast for 665. Hey, how about some fucking funny books? Yeah, I just didn't have them ready for last BBC. Sorry. Earl of Sandwich for $5. Hail to the real BBC. Thank you for helping pass the time with the entertaining banner. I am, however, very worried about Kenobi, not only destroying Kenobi himself, but also a character assassination of the great Darth Vader. I think both will happen. Yeah. You guys let me know. I mean, I'm not going to be reviewing the show. I covered the trailer just to have a little fun, but yeah, I'm not going to be reviewing the show. And that's usually not good for a pop culture channel, but I mean, it does, you know, Kenobi's going to be led around by probably a young Princess Leia. The Rev, whatever her name was, the Inquisitor, the black female Inquisitor, who was prominent in the trailer, like more prominent than Kenobi. A lot of people are saying, including Rags, who was the first person I saw say it. I know there's people out there on Twitter trying to take credit for it, but it was Rags from EFAB who said that she will be good by the end. And I think so, because Inquisitors are Jedi who surrendered and turned to the dark side. So Sauron, the 11 cum bucket. Wow. For $1. Hello, guys. Love your show. Is anyone familiar with the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Only Full Metal Alchemist I'm familiar with. All things considered, I think it's the closest we'll ever get to a near perfect anime. Also, Mahler, will you ever EFAP anime? Love your takes. Cheers from Germany. That's a good question. I think the closest they got was Arcane. I mean, that's not anime, but I think they would eventually. You never want to put things out of the realm of possibility. It's something I will ask him. Jillian N. We were in the super chat part. That was the donation part. Thank you very much. March 8th. Again, this is the last real BBC. Jillian N. $4.99. Gary, could you shave his beard? Gary could shave his beard on Twitch. Really show some skin. Kidding. Love the beard. Then the tattoos come out. Jillian, yeah. If I shaved my beard, I think my career will be over. I'm kind of stuck with this thing, you know. I think the length. I mean, if like in all reality, the length. Oh boy, this is gonna get cut. What might change, you know. But that's it. As Knockers Out Fund, says Emery Clem for $5. There you go. It's going to cost more than that to get As Knockers Out. Probably not much more, but a little more. Demi Moore's Tapeworm for $4.99. Like I always said, I used to be gay, as scared me straight. Oh, hoop. Apologies. I meant drinkers novels, says Thumb Ugly. Oh, sorry. This is out of order. No money to Hollywood. I'm a buy Mahler's novels. And he meant drinkers novels. Oh, you didn't have to correct it in there. Thank you, Thumb Ugly. Who knows? Mahler might write a novel. He's pretty talented, but drinkers novels are good. Drinker's a very good writer. Season 8 of Game of Thrones was ultra trash, says Christoph, the Polish guy, for 25 Polish pesos. And I agree. I would also add season 7. I'm heading off. Thanks for the content. Everyone have a good night. Ashley Jade Wiles for £5 Thanks for hanging as long as you did, Ashley. We appreciate you. We appreciate the £5. That is proper money. Chester Copperpot has made some idiotic comments lately about feminism, and it may have sunk it before it has been released. Oh, the is it that Western? Sean McClure for $4.99. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. I don't know if he's talking about Cabbage Patch with that Western. But yeah, I people are just, everything's toxic masculinity. They're all using the same underlying themes, even if it's just a side underlying theme, but there's always a bad dad, or the dude is stupid, and you can only have white guys as bad guys now, and it's just stupid. And people go, well, women and people of color are bad guys. Well, a lot of times it's either the righteous bad guy, justified bad guy, and it's just obvious. And we're just calling out like obvious shit. They just don't like it. They being Hollywood. Mikey Gussler for $2. Donner Superman sucks. Gotten worse over time. Mikey, just that's a terrible statement. Thank you for the $2, but that's just wrong. That's just fundamentally wrong. Donner Superman is considered one of the greatest films ever made. Like in the top, I would say 200 films ever made. In an era of arguably some of the greatest films ever made. 70s. We will never see the likes of that era again. The Spawn Camp for $5. Hot take: when Peter Parker, by the way, was a science teacher, was best Spidey. I'm not gonna argue with that at all. Mikey Gussler for $10 says Henry Cavill's Superman wasn't about him learning not to kill. It was about him learning to balance between being Clark and Superman. You would know that if you watched the movies. I did. But what got lost in that was all the over-the-top violence that did bother some people. It didn't necessarily bother me. I just think the tone of Superman was a little too dark for me, Mikey. That's all. It could have lightened it up with a little bit of levity. Not like Marvel goofy levity, but Superman is supposed to be a heroic story, but trust me, I completely understand what Zack Snyder was trying to do. One Room Productions, you forget, I own the movie. I've got that, the tin, the little Superman tin, and the 4K version and stuff. I own it because I am a Superman fan. But I just don't think Zack Snyder's the right guy to direct Superman. Batman, yeah. Oh, totally. But not Superman. I think Matthew Vaughn directs a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. It's going to be awesome. And you never know. It could happen. It could absolutely happen. Henry Cavill starring in Matthew Vaughn's Superman. Sign me up. Take all my money. But we love Mikey Gussler. We absolutely love Mikey Gussler because that is a passionate fan, and he has a right to his opinion. And we respect that here. Even as wrong as it is on the Donner Superman. See, one does not need to attack the Donner Superman to support the Snyder. If Snyder's Superman is so great, it can stand on its own. It can stand on its own. But I mean, the reality is, and this is just a reality, I don't make the rules. More people are going to remember the Donner Superman than the Man of Steel Superman, positively. Is it fair? Life isn't fair. I saw the Donner Superman when I was 8. That's who it was made for. It was made for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds at the time. And man, it sang to us. It did. And trust me, Mikey, all movies age. They all do. Man of Steel is going to look, how's Man of Steel going to look in 30, 40, 50 years? In 50 years, they're going to be able to like project movies in our head. Like we're going to be like standing on the street and watching the stuff happen. Like watching Superman fly over. That's what I mean. Spider-Man. Hell, we'll be part of the movie. We will be Spider-Man and Superman. I have no idea. That's just Henry Cavill's. Oh, I read that one. Obviously, One Room Productions for $10 says, Gary, thank you for showing cover art for Grendel. I've never heard of the comic before, and now I've got a few in my e-reader cart. Looking forward to reading. So here's a portion of the sale. Oh, well, thank you, One Room Productions. Grendel. Yeah, Matt Wagner's Grendel. Go check it out. It's good stuff. It was never like my favorite book in the world, but it's very good. It is a quality, well-made comic by a very, very talented dude. Battle Hymn 63 for $5. It must be Billy Porter as Madonna, or oh, that's good. Or they lack courage of their convictions. I second that, and I third that. Billy Porter as Madonna in the Madonna biopic. Blue-eyed roof Korean, the based for $2. Zendaya is a very beautiful trans man, you bigots. Yeah. I'm not as I'm like, I don't dislike her. I mean, I don't care. She's a big star. Good for her. She obviously has ability. I mean, just looks alone is not enough. You have to have some kind of talent and ability most of the time. But I'm just not, I don't see the appeal. That's just me. I'm not into rail thin, young looking, childlike girls. Okay. I'm not. Olympian Pictures for $9.99. Shout out to Hollywood Scholar. Best up-and-coming channel around. His name is from the archaic version of scholar to mean student, not expert. Smart dude either way through. Had a great Batman review. Cool. Thank you. And thank you for the $9.99. Hollywood Scholar. Oh, for $1.99. Well, I guess I should change my name then. No. Wasa for $5. I hear they are making a new Alien movie. Think it will be woke garbage or something good? Oh, woke garbage. I mean, Wasa, I don't mean this as offense to you at all. This is just a general statement. This is not directed at you. Has Hollywood earned some kind of benefit of the doubt that I missed? Did I miss a memo somewhere? In some things, are they trying to change things? Well, I don't know. It's way too early to tell. Like I reviewed Picard last night, and it looked, and the first episode looked like they were dialing down some of the woke shit, and then they did a Trump rally in the second episode. So I'm like, God, these people just can't let it go. Oh, Josh Crush for $4.99. Lego Batman, best Batman. Fight me. It's a good Batman, but it's not the best Batman. I liked it. It was fine. Good kids movie. The Lego movie. Summit Ranger for $4.99. Off topic, but as I just heard they're doing a crossover comic event In the Arrowverse, first issue is Batwoman. Aren't you looking forward to that? He is, with bated breath. With bated breath, not breath. Christoph, the Polish guy, for 25 Polish pesos. Gary, curiously, what do you think of the Hobbit movies? I like them. They're not good, but I like them. Bloated, way too much CG, but they're still, there's moments of real heart and that Peter Jackson goodness. And there's great moments, and there's some cringe. And I hate the love triangle. Hate it. Devil Fist for $5. I don't know if someone. Okay, I got to dial back on that one. Just to let you know, though, I watched all 3 Hobbit movies like multiple times in the theaters too. Like I went back 3 or 4 times because I'm a fan. I'm a dumb fan, but I'm a fan. Red Lightning 0001 for $4.49 British. Guardian begs for money, but they set millions from the likes of Mills. They get millions from the likes of Mills and Bellender Foundation, and I think Bezos Co-Foundation. Yeah, not surprising. They're still begging for money because, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know how people make money off of websites unless it's behind an actual paywall and you're charging a subscription. I just don't think you can make enough ad money. Maybe I'm wrong. Depends on how many hits you get, I guess. But like lately, every website I go to just shows me all the sideshow shit I just looked at and didn't buy. So I don't know. Devil Fist for $5. I don't know if someone already said this, but just to piss off Gary and Az, the max level in the game is somewhere around 800. All stats go up to 99. Is that Dark Souls, or we were talking about Dark Souls or Elden Ring? Neither games. I don't play games. I don't play video games. I just don't. I will. I'll play one, but and I've played them in the past. I'm just, I'd rather read a book, read a comic book, watch a movie, go outside. I'm just not a gamer. I'm not. But total respect to gamers. Absolutely. Preston Jennings, thank you for the $1. Appreciate it. Lightning 123456 for $10. Seriously, Galadriel is femininity incarnate. She was so beautiful that the people would be in absolute awe. These people don't understand how power works in Middle Earth. It's not people throwing lasers. No, it's not. No, and it's not punching people and thrusting a sword through somebody's chest. One of the criticisms that Christopher Tolkien had of the Peter Jackson films was they glorified the battle too much. It was supposed to be the romance and the character interaction. And certainly there's bad things and there's creatures, but the spectacle of violence wasn't supposed to be, according to Christopher, it's not the main thing. Now I love the battles personally. Fucking dig them. Thoughts on fitness for $4.49. Batman Dark Knight is the godfather of all superhero movies. Perfect casting and what an ending. Yeah, Dark Knight. It's a great movie. Yeah, could get an argument out of me. Papa Chaos for $5. Being called racist bigot for having different opinion has gotten old a long time ago. Someone tell this beta to go outside and touch some grass, right? Billy D. Shilliams for $9.99. I watched all 4 of your channels. You're not racist for hating on shit that actually is. I'm Hispanic. When I give my opinion, then people turn to me too, and I claim I'm Spanish, which is white. White. What the fuck? Yeah, you know. It's a strange world we live in. Billy D. Shilliams. Daniel Matthews for 10 Australian dollars, a few hours behind, just letting you know Bel Air is no longer a comedy, and the latest episode discussed the sexuality of a 12-year-old. Hollywood likes crossing those lines, I guess. They want to cross it so bad that they're getting involved in legislation in other states. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people. There's a big push for this. Lightning 1 2 3 4 5 6 for 10 Canadian pesos. I love you guys. Extra $10 here. Thank you. Lightning 1 2 3 4 5 6. And I'm glad you guys are getting freed up in Canada. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Samuel Myth for £5 British. Some were mainly complaining about a black stormtrooper because they thought all stormtroopers looked like Jango Fett. Nothing to do with racism, mostly. Yeah, that was a lot of what I was seeing. And I promise you, the only criticism I saw was, why you got to make Stormtrooper black? Why is the bad guy got to be black? And this is before anybody saw the trailer or knew what was going on. I thought that was the single most interesting thing when I saw the trailer, quite frankly. And it's sad. It's sad that Jar Jar Abrams and Rian Johnson chose to go down a very, very stereotypical road with Finn. Send your complaints to Disney Star Wars, as per usual. Sporky News Podcast for $2. Need more gay Asian Numenorian representation, please? Absolutely. Where is it? Lightning 1 2 3 4 5 6 for 10 Canadian pesos. Once again, thank you. I will never buy anything from these clowns. Why should I waste my money on people who wish I didn't exist? Also, wasn't Galadriel super old already in the Second Age? Yes. Yes. She would have gone through her adolescence and puberty well before the show. Because of American Me, Edward James Olmos still has to pay protection money to the Emmy. Otherwise, Breer 24/71999. The Emmy, really? Well, that might be forgive me. But that might be a Hispanic thing. Because, there's different circles in prison. I never had to pay any kind of protection money my whole time in there. No, nothing outside of getting in some fights. But there wasn't some guy saying, I'll protect you, and if you don't pay me, I'm going to kick your ass every day. Like, that didn't happen. Maybe I was just lucky. I don't know, but it didn't happen. The DCV Titan for $2. Diversity is important. Nina should play Shaka Zulu. I agree. FBI Glow Boy for $10 says, by the way, thank you for the 2 Canadian pesos. This is $10 from FBI Glow Boy. Hey, Nibble Nuts. Can someone explain how both Warner and Amazon claim to simultaneously hold the rights to both Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit? Midnight's Edge was trying to explain, but it confused me more. XOXO. Absolutely, I can explain it to you. What was sold to Amazon was the rights to the books. The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings, but they could not change anything from those books. So essentially, they just bought the rights to the appendices and the stories in those books to make a second age story. The Tolkien estate was selling a second age story. Now, Warner Brothers has distribution rights, or so they think. Now, Saul Zaentz, who owns Silmarillion and other stuff, has some rights too. They all had to come to an agreement to make a Hobbit movie. MGM, Warner Brothers, all that. And that's what held up the Hobbit movie for so long. And I think Saul Zaentz was involved in that too. So, Saul Zaentz thinks those rights have expired. The Saul Zaentz company thinks those rights have expired because Warner Brothers has, quite frankly, done nothing until they decide to do that animated movie, but it's not live action. Saul Zaentz thinks it's live action. Amazon is only making a second age story. If Amazon truly had the rights to Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, don't you think they would have remade it? The answer is yes. The answer is a definitive yes. But they thought they could make a prequel, and they thought they could make this series before and try to connect it without connecting it to the Peter Jackson films. Now we know they have nothing to do with each other. They have zero to do with each other, other than they brought in a couple of people from the Peter Jackson films. But it's largely going to be its own thing. They have no real dialogue other than like a few sentences here and there that are very specific to the history that is being told in the appendices, which is written very much like the Bible. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but there are 3 companies that think they have rights to Lord of the Rings. There are some differences between those 3 companies. Amazon has the rights right now, though, and I think they're working their way to possibly remaking both The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings once the MGM sale is approved by the government. I think that's what's holding it up. Because the one thing that's not brought up is MGM, and MGM does still have rights to The Hobbit and certain characters. Walter Tomaszewski for $4.99. Hats off to a fan on another video who said we need to send a message to Amazon. One does not simply woke into Mordor. Very good. Credit to that person. Adam Wolford for $5. Hey, you are forgetting that they said about Ghost of Tsushima. They were saying why wasn't there black people in Japan 1,000 years ago? Yeah, they're stupid. That's why. Can't agree, Gary. I don't want to have to use a black light when buying a car. New cars rule, says Aiken. $7.99 Australian. Well, where are you buying your cars, dude? Like they get clean. For one, I buy leather seats or pleather. No cloth seats. That can avoid that. And you could say, well, that's expensive. It depends. But they detail the shit out of those cars before they sell them. At least if you go to the right place. I used to work in the auto industry. Okay. Black Numenorians are probably actually going to be black. I bet if they make it that far, says final user for 5 Canadian pesos. You know they are. Well, no, they're not, because they're bad. The Black Numenorians are bad. I think they leave them out altogether. IMDb lists top 50 fantasy TV shows. Google search title as The Rings of Power has number 12 already, even though it hasn't come out. Rig System. Oh, yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's not even worth even mentioning. But thank you for the $10. And Callaghan the Black is racist, says Eric K for $2. Used to be Cool Hand Luke for $10. Thank you, Eric, for the $2. Nina, you just got major cool points for the Trailer Park Boys reference. There you go. Old Man Hawk for $2. Jeff Smith's Bone series, it's good. It's not my thing, but again, it's good. Ike Ellis for $10. Riddler, I set up a bomb in the mid of a palm. Now we're 1930s Batman. I've got a gun and no time for a pun. Now tell me the place or I'll blow off your face. No, he just stood there until his face didn't get blown off, but it should have been. Tommy Wicks for $4.49. Hail to all. I just wanted to say I think Willem Dafoe could be the perfect Joker. I agree, and has good chemistry with Robert Pattinson. Also, Toby the Goat. Yeah, but instead they got that Irish kid from Dunkirk and freaking Eternals. Moons of Madness for $2. Happy birthday, Mrs. Nerdrotic. I'll pass that on, Moons of Madness. Thank you. Cody Griffin for $10. Happy birthday to Mrs. Nerdrotic. Vikings, Valhalla, Google, Jarl Harkon, real person and national hero. Then look at Harkon in the new show. Yeah, black female. Totally believable. Ruling the Vikings, not just in the show, ruling the Vikings. I mean, is it plausible that a black person ended up in the North, raised by a family or something like? Sure. Absolutely. Ruling? Okay. There's plausible, but plausible is that means there's a 0.000000001% chance it could happen. And they decide to really lean into that 0.0000001% chance. International Women's Day is actually a day for men to celebrate international women, says Octopus Man for £5 There you go. Howdy and hail all. You all should come to Houston for a meetup in July when we have Texas' biggest con, Comic Palooza. It's 15th to 17th. Happy birthday, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Of what month? Oh, July. You just said that, July. Well, dude, that is like, I think that's the week before Comic-Con. Yeah, I'm going to Comic-Con in San Diego. No Pants Batman sounds like a XX version or porn version. Hey now, says Eric K for $2. Indeed. Dermy Wormy for $5. I have a confession to make. I have read all the Twilight books for school credit and watched all the movies, including 50 Shades of Grey, because of my ex-girlfriend. Well, we now know why she's your ex-girlfriend. Charvel for 100 Mexican, I'm going to say dollars. I heard Amazon has the rights to a God of War series. This is true. Will Catelyn Jenner be cast as Kratos? I think you have guessed the casting. Mega reacts for $5. I tried to react to Twilight on my YouTube channel. I made it 30 minutes. You are a brave, brave soul. Ask and Dance for $10. Brandon Sanderson is fucking fantastic. His Stormlight Archive series is one of the things I will buy multiple times in every format. Wow. Okay. Well, maybe he should finish Game of Thrones. I know he finished Wheel of Time. Maybe he should finish Game of Thrones for George. Hey, he doesn't need to. Made $26 million on a freaking Kickstarter. Amazing. Alan Reese for £5 Love you guys. Respect. Nina's such a hottie, and I'm totally addicted. Could Mr. Az and Gorgeous Fit Nina please talk about the Trailer Park Boys? I'm sure they would. I'm sure they do a live stream for that. Mark for $10. Hail, everybody. Hail to you. Daniel for $10. I agree with all of you that seeing and talking about these movies is important. That abandoning the battlefield wins nothing. Boycotts never work, but I can't bring myself to watch Rings or Batman. Then don't. Oh, absolutely don't. Absolutely don't. We need it to degrade. Degradation. That's what we need to happen. What they did to our stuff. Droid Control Ship for $5. Hello again, Gary, and or as another Star Trek question. What do you think of the Breen Confederacy or the Breen, the species in general? Well, there's not much to think about. They are in suits. We never see them. They're badass. They're in they are in the Alpha Quadrant, but they're isolationists, and they join the Dominion War. And we never, I guess there might be a book out there or something that explains what happened to them after the Dominion War, but we haven't heard much. But it's one of the things that's remained a mystery, unlike the Borg. So I think there's a lot of potential with the Breen to either fuck it up. I'm glad. I hope Kurtzman Trek just leaves them alone, to be honest with you. But cool. Gungnir for 20 Swedish krona. Hail, tarnished. May your blade always strike true. Thank you. You as well, sir. Woke Hogan for $5. Zoe Kravitz hasn't lived a hard day in her life. The hubris of the Hollywood elites makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, show a little gratitude. It still took hard work, but as oh my god, it was mentioned in the Bounding into Comics article referring to the Daily Wire article. I'm not sure if I'm getting this right, but she was born on third base. Somebody said she was born on third base, and I agree with that assessment. Woke Hogan once again for $5. Do you think with how the Batman they got away with sneaking in the message will embolden bad reboot to be more overtly woke with the sequels? Yes, until I see otherwise. Brightest Day for $2. Hail mods, panel, and chat. And we love the mods, and we love the panel, and we love the chat. Happy belated birthday, Mark, says Trucker Rob for $2. What's up, Trucker Rob? Arcasul for $5. As don't ever give up, mate. You persisting has made me persist in my playthrough. Thanks for the great streams. Fucking backseat gamers. Also, hot dog. Literature Devil, what's up, man? How's it going for $2? I haven't played much, but Elden Ring is really fun. There you go. A lot of people love it. It sounds like it's like the game people have been waiting for. I have not seen this much universal love for a game since the Ghost of Tsushima, and it might be a little more. And this is just from observation. Obviously, I don't play. Seems like, Mahler loves it. Az obviously loves it. Jeremy loves it. Everybody I know loves it. The Sacred Order, my son doesn't play it though. The Sacred Order of Knightly Valor for 500 yen. Thank you. Gary, how can I send you guys free copies of my anti-woke sci-fi novel, The Last American by Ed Ronan? The Last American. I had an idea for a story called The Last American back in the 90s. That's funny. How do you send it to? My P.O. Box. My P.O. Box, which is, you can go to my website, nerdrotic.com. It's on the bottom right. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, hit the About section, and the P.O. Box is right there. I don't have it memorized, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can find it there. The Sacred Order of Knightly Valor. Thank you once again for the 100 yen. Okay. Droid Control Ship for $5. Gary Naz wanted your opinion on the Star Trek Vengeance class Dreadnought. Any nitpicks? I despise the bridge's location on that ship. The Vengeance class Dreadnought. I love the name, the Dreadnought. I fucking love the name, the Dreadnought. But no, I'm not super picky when it comes to bridge locations on the ship. I'm just not. Gandalf the Grey for $4.99. But again, you got to love a Vengeance class ship. That's fucking awesome, dude. Sorry, Gandalf the Grey for $4.99. Brando Sando is changing the publishing game. Greatest writer of this century. It sounds like it. I got to check out his books. Again, Wheel of Time didn't do for me, but I'll try out some of his other stuff. Pirate Tomsky for £5 I'll happily support International Women's Day as soon as someone can define what a woman is. Well, there's a great Robin Williams joke. Pirate Tomsky said the only man to truly figure out a woman died laughing. Even Roussel for 5 Canadian pesos. Hail, longtime watcher, first time super chatter. Well, I just released my first comic book today. It's called The Ballad of Bill. It's free on Patreon. Hey, that's cool. So go check out Evan Roussel's, and that's Rousselle on the Patreon. It's called The Ballad of Bill, and it's free. Get some free reading in. Waylander for €5. Hey, hola, Longoid. I give in. I will watch Arcane so I can keep caught up with EFAP and the Toxic Brood. Hi, Fringy. Kick Rags and boo to Jay and Metal. Why boo to Jay? I mean, I like Fringy. I don't know Jay and Metal. Gandalf the Grey for $1.99. That's why they call that's why they call it coveting in the Bible. This is true. Steppenwolf for $5. Laugh my motherfucking ass off and a unicorn. And a phallic unicorn. 200-watt studio for $5. Went to the store and bought a half-gallon of milk. Fauci's picture was on the carton. Oh, yeah, he's gone, dude. Dude is gone. Well, he's probably cleaning out the biolabs in the Ukraine right now. You know what I'm saying? CC Thorne for $20. Hail, BBC. Never forget Tony taking the nuke into space. Yes. Cap single-handedly holding back a Titan. All Kang Mauler. It's all Kang. That's right. It's all Kang. It's all Kang. Mahler loved the Star Wars video. Rest easy, John Bartolo. Yes, rest in peace, John Bartolo. Thanks for being the bright spot in this fellowship. Hail. Hail. Thank you. You, Me, and the Movies for $10. Longtime viewer, first time super. Woo. Hope they use the Penguin series to pass time, and Batman 2 is 2.5 years later. Agreed. They set it up perfectly for Penguin to rule Gotham while it's flooded. Penguins thrive in water. That's a good point. Dizzy Prepper for what? And you know what? The Penguin can probably like do good in a bad way, and that way that's how he builds up his cred. You know, Dizzy Prepper for £5 Point of order: Julie Newmar was not included in the poll. Clearly, a case of fixing the results. Julie Newmar is the definitive Catwoman. Not going to argue with that. Snake 9999964 for $10. 99. Will they have orcs sing where there's a whip, there's a way? Sure. That would be funny. Hello, comrades and beauties, Nina and X-Ray. A Steppenwolf burp. Snake 999999964 for $2. Thank you. Hangry is angry for $10. Victor Zaz and Calendar Man and maybe Firefly could work in this darker Batman. They certainly could. I'm more old school. The Julie Newmar or Lee Merriweather versions of Catwoman. Again, Nicholas Horton. Not going to argue with that. They were hot. Yo, did you guys see the story of the new Predator sequel? Yeah, it's called Prey, and a gender norm breaking Comanche woman will be the main character for real. Yeah. Moon Dude 345 for $9.99. That is going to be a lot of fun to destroy, because that's just the dumbest fucking idea. I'm not sure how an advanced alien species is going to lose to an 8-foot tall Native American who fires the truest wooden arrow with a flint arrowhead against armored technological giant species that a bunch of really buff dudes with big fucking guns had a hard time with and had to fucking nuke. It's stupid. But we're going to see how fierce this young girl is. She's going to be so fierce and stunning and brave. Oh my God. Then they call it Prey. By the way, it's been done in the Dark Horse series. It's been done. Mr. Butt Crack Media for 5 Canadian pesos. Greetings, all you fabulous people. So it was adrenaline he injected, or maybe something else like venom, maybe. I think it was the venom. I got the venom. It was green. So I got venom. Why wasn't Alfred Bruce's gay Filipino uncle, Joe McGinnis, for $5? You mean kind of like in Gotham High? He wasn't, was he? He was Asian. I don't think he was Filipino. Maybe he was Filipino. Not sure. Sharon Show for $5. Isn't that Batman villains where essays on human nature first and then social commentary second? That's what they're losing with the current take. Am I the only one? And thank you very much for the $5. THS 1989 for $10. Am I the only one who heard the score, more specifically the music that played when Batman approached Penguin after the crash and thought of the Imperial March? I didn't. It really sounds like, okay, so those two particular notes were drawn from the Nirvana song. Okay, so they are drawn from the Nirvana song. If you listen to Something in the Way, there's two notes from that song that they use for the Batman theme. But it also has a bit of the animated series theme layered in there too, based on what I heard. Yeah, I definitely think it's supposed to be a Batman theme that echoes a Batman theme and a Nirvana song. I could be wrong. That's just my ear. I haven't read anything. That's just based on listening to the soundtrack quite a bit. Gallifreyan Avenger for 10 euros. Thank you. Discount Ezra Miller, Barry Coogan. Claim to fame was he shot a cat with an Uzi in the Irish crime drama Love Hate. He has the look, nothing else. Very overrated actor. He's got a look of a modern Joker, but not the Joker. No, the Joker has a very thin, long face. Willem Dafoe looks like the effing Joker. And I mean what the Joker was based on, The Man Who Laughs. That looks like Willem Dafoe. Test site for $10. I don't mind a dark and gritty story, but where I might differ from most is I really hate the filter they keep using. It's the same filter they keep using in The Boys, The Man of Steel, the bleak filter. I hate it. Yeah, it desaturates, right? It desaturates. I can see your complaint. Bilbonius bag of donuts for $2. I was sad Batman didn't randomly vomit after lie. Okay. Joe McGinnis for $1. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Robert Cherry for $9.99. That guy is the reason they ran out of tampons at CVS. Ooh, ouch. Robert. Funny. Templar Asimov for $4.49 British pounds. Hail Nina. Exure Gul. Mahler as a Nerdrotic. Have any of you seen any Major Grin's videos? Major Grin is the shit. Where compares STD with real Star Trek. No, Major Grin is a national treasure. Possibly an international treasure. Not really sure where he or she is from, but they are great. I subscribe to the channel. I watch the videos all the time. Keaton Smith for 99 pence. Thank you very much. Goger for 50 Swedish krona. I would love to see her go to Britain and rape some men. Would she be so stunning and brave? If it's about Leif Erikson, maybe she will do that in NA. Maybe. It won't happen, though. Musavik Recordings. Thank you for the $1. And Musafonic Recordings. Thank you for the two $1 super chats. I appreciate it. The thing that should not be. How do I know that's what it says? Lots of mistakes and actually being corrected like a couple of years ago for $5. There were actual historical instances of people of color. Why couldn't they use them or make a fictional character similar to them? Yes. The thing is, they don't know that for sure. There is some genealogical evidence of that. And absolutely, there had to be a group of people who, for some reason, walk. I mean, they're, of course. Nobody thinks that isn't possible. Did China visit the New World? Absolutely, I believe that. Did the Polynesians visit the New World? There's tons of DNA evidence that essentially proves it, that the archaeologists decide to completely ignore. Yes, there is specific, not Polynesian. I'm sorry. It's Australian Aboriginal DNA that was found in a pocket of the rainforest. Like, how did it get there? Well, they sailed over there, obviously. They didn't just beam over, did they? So, yes, there's so much we don't know. There was tons of traveling going on. There was connections. I mean, do you think it's just an accident that there was pyramids in South America and pyramids in Egypt. We just automatically thought up the same architecture in two different ways. Just total accident. Really? No. Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock, go check them both out. Try to keep an open mind. Okay. But I think they have done enough work to where they turned something that sounded woo-woo and sounds pretty legit now, to be honest with you. Swinehouse for 5 Filipino pesos. Thank you. If people think that the Lord of the Rings fans backlash, just try FS7 fans with Kravitz. You forgettable little nothing. Ares never erreth. And Martyr and Tifa got boys through high school. Love you guys. Keep it going. Horror. Swinehouse. And a large part of my customer base at the Comic Outpost was Filipino because of my proximity to Daly City, where a lot of the fine Filipino people live. And that's how I recognize that. Blunt objections for $5. I have scheduled multiple root canals for September 2nd, since I am sure they will be more enjoyable than watching the premiere of The Rings of Power. You get some work. You got to get that work done eventually. Dwight Schmitz for $5. My 11-year-old daughter loves Batman. I'm getting her Grant Morrison's run on Batman and Robin. That's good. Batman Reborn. What are some good runs for her to read? Well, that's a very good run. But get Hush. No Man's Land's good. I don't know if it's considered a run, but if you could find the reprints of like Starlin's work in the 80s, like the 80s Batman is the absolute shit. So I would say from issue, well, even the Mandrake stuff before that, but like, from year 1 up, because it started out with Miller and then Starlin came in, and Cockrum, I think did Cockrum? Maybe did some art for that. But there was some really good stuff in the 80s. Really, really good stuff. But there was also, you can get Venom. That's a trade paperback. That's good. Batman the Cult is good. Nicholas Horton, thank you for the 3 British pounds. Scott Kerr for $2. Find your new Pete's Coffee in Texas. Cheers. I'm looking, dude. I just order Pete's Coffee and make it here. I haven't quite found the right, I'm sure I will, but I haven't found a coffee shop that really just makes the most kick-ass coffee. I also drink my Geek Grind Nerdrotic blend. Hitchhiker 42 for 5 British pounds. Hail, as I sent you the Doctor Who Chronicles magazine. I hope you have received it. I have all of them to send to Gary in the post. What is the best way? P.O. Box. Go to the About section of the Nerdrotic main channel, and you'll see it there. I have to add it to Nerdrotic Live and Daily. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Thank you, Hitchhiker 42. I appreciate that. And that wraps it up for Real BBC. This is from Picard, episode 1. The leftovers from episode 1. And there we go. Goob for $5. You want more metal for your gym playlist? Saxon's new album kicks ass. I will check it out. I've got a new gym I got to get used to. It's fine. And that was on the donation side. Now we're to the super chat side. Magnus Lord for $2. Is Batman Road to No Man's Land arc worth reading? Yes. Absolutely. Gandalf the Grey for $9.99. Thank you, my liege. You're welcome. Cashew Nutter. That's right, Cashew Nutter for $7.99 Australian. Mate, thank you for the content. You're one of my favorite reviewers. Thank you. I look forward to every video you make. Wow, thank you. Really, thank you. From the land down under. Hail, Australia. Hope things are a little more free there as well. And I appreciate your support. And the $7.99. Brian Barlow for $2. Ignore me. Hail, Gary. I'm sorry I ignored you till now. Sorry, I didn't see this one. Jens Anderson for 50 Swedish krona. Yes, Gary, watch Stargate, one of the best shows in my childhood. Speaking of ships, the Dallas class The Dallas class ship gives me chills. Hail, Gary. Hail. Fat Steven Seagal for $2. Can I get a truck? Yeah. Honk, honk. Yes, you can. And I'll try not to blast your ears. So I'll keep it down. There you go. There you go. By the way, we have a Hobbit Cafe in Houston. If you're interested. Really, JS Pena for $4.99? I am. So now I got to go. Plus, a friend of mine lives down there that I have to visit. Tracy Wilborn for $2. Made you look. I looked. You're right. Ryan Bailey for $5. Late to the stream. I just watched this. First time I saw the new Borg Queen. The first thing I thought was, is she has a new hat from The Simpsons. Yes. And it's I completely agree with Red Letter Media. It's Picard's mom. At least that one is. Tennessee Tism for $5. Remember when Star Trek was full of hope, morality, and optimism for humanity's future? Seems like a distant memory. I miss the Trek I grew up with. Yeah, they decided to go dystopian, but in an alternate reality this time. And there was a Trump rally in the last episode, which, this is from the first episode. Matthew Spriggs for $5. Star Trek Prodigy basically explains why Seven is so cranky and emotionally distanced. Chakotay was lost in the Delta Quadrant aboard the Protostar. Oh, is that what happened to him? So he might show up again. Sean Puffy 3 for $4.99. If it wasn't for Gary and the drinker calling all this woke crap out, I wouldn't have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind a while ago. Thank you, Gary, for your content. Thank you, Sean Puffy 3. Thank you for your support, or I would have lost my mind a long time ago. Hoovie's Garage for $20. Thank you. So happy they fixed the ships. Such a stupid and lazy decision in season 1. And just after I got excited about it, they jumped into an alternate reality and back to the ugly brick. 2024. Do we still have whales? Who knows in this universe? The First American Doctor for $10. I grew a beard waiting for this review. Beards are cool. Also, Picard sucks. At least it doesn't ruin the next generation. And Capaldi was the last British doctor. Not going to argue with you. Enoch Maman for $10. I assume the show has greatly improved, and now it is brilliantly written work of, sorry, I can't even finish writing that sentence. I'm guessing it's safe to bet the show still sucks hard as Kamala. Yes, it just sucks a little bit less. A little bit less. George Peter Gatsis for $10. VFX sound and video remastered 1941 Captain Marvel serial is premiering on George Peter Gatsis YouTube channel Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. You gotta see the promo trailer. It will impress. Hail the Fellowship. Hail. Hail. Yeah. Check it out after Friday Night Tights for sure. And that wraps it up for Picard. Lunatic Fortuna or Lunatic Fortune. Not really sure. Sorry. $25. And this is one of two. And thank you. Thanks to working night shift, I can never catch a whole show live. Oh, I'm sorry. But it gives me and my weekend coworkers something to kill an entire Saturday shift. Oh, awesome. So it isn't all bad. And since I'll forever be a week late, Gary, please don't blame Elden Ring. I won't. I won't. And Lunatic Fortune for $25, 2 of 2. For George R. R. Martin being terminally lazy, he spent 2016, 2020 losing his mind over Trump instead of writing anything of note. And then the Game of Thrones TV series cratered his brand hard enough to kill the dinosaurs. And that is true. And he just put up just a bleak update that I'm doing a video on. It's almost done. You'll probably see it Sunday or Monday, depending on when Perry can get done with it. But I got a few things to say about it. Patrick Free we'll probably discuss it on Friday Night Tights too. Patrick Free for $25. Hold up, did X-Ray Girl say she had a second proposition? Maybe. Jeff for $25. Hey guys and Chrissy, thanks for being here every Friday night. I have nothing profound to say, but I hope to encourage your social dissidence. Thank you, and you do. D. Dabas for 661. Love the show. Idea for Chrissy. Sell farts in a jar. Tootin' for Putin. She probably would. Oh, Jack Shadow for $10. Hail Friday Night Tights. Love y'all. And I'm so excited. Just ordered my first shipment of Geek Grind coffee. Hail. Out of curiosity, what are your all favorite blends? I ordered the Dragon's Roast and Witch's Brew. Keep going strong, y'all. Well, I prefer the All Hail blend. The All Hail blend. But we did the Witch's Brew too, and it was pretty good. Lovick for $10. Hail Friday Night Tights. While I don't have Elden Ring, I will be playing an old Bandai Namco game, God Eater 3, Anime Monster Hunter. You guys keep up the good work. And you too slay a lot of anime monsters. Foul Slime for $10. Hail Friday Night Tights. Just wanted to say I've got Ryan screaming fuck from the Fazzalis clip as my Fazoli's. Sorry, I don't know what a Fazoli's is. I've never fucking heard of it until he talked about it. As my phone's alert now. Might see y'all at the Orlando meetup. I might cook Ryan something while I'm there. Oh, he'll like that. Just don't get your order wrong. Okay, I'll get his order wrong and let Jeremy film it. Cheers. Yes. Nerd Fan for $7.37. Batman movie was a setup to bring the fans in and normies, but the sequel will be full Last Jedi. Get ready for your expectations to be subverted. Look at the long story they have set up. I cannot argue with that. I see irony for $5. Harvey Dent was race swapped in the Burton Keaton Batman movies. Yes, he was. No one made a fuss. No, we didn't about it because it was Billy D. Effin Williams. That's why. Virtue signaling in Hollywood wasn't invented yet. Eartha Kitt was typecast in 1960s for literally sounding like a cat. Nothing to do with a race swap. Nope. Got to meet Eartha Kitt. She actually signed a Catwoman book for my wife. Irish Nat 117, $20. Thank you. Ryan, smart move using the pseudonym Sadat Shamil Johnson when getting some food while you were in Utah. A bit extreme in response, though, if you ask me. Still, hail Tights. Hail. Chibble RL for $3. Love the show so much. Stumbled on this a few weeks ago. Miss you, Quarter Black from Louder with Crowder. Yeah, Quarter Black came over to my channel. I don't know why. No. I'm glad he did. I'm sure you guys miss him on Louder with Crowder. I remember the first time I saw Quarter Black, I was like, where did Not Gay Jared go? I miss Not Gay Jared. Don't even know what happened to Not Gay Jared. Matt the Beast for $1 was baking and want to share. Mix 1 cup veg oil, 1 cup sugar, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Beat in 4 eggs. Mix 2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder. Pour half batter into 9 by 13 pan. Add 1 canned fruit pie filling. Cover with rest of batter. Bake for 350 to 30 at 350 for 35 to 45 minutes. Let cool and enjoy. Says Matt the Beast. There you go. You're getting recipes on Super Chat Square Ups for Friday Night Tights. And on Friday Night Tights. George for $10. Friday Night Tights and it's time to rock. And please, Hollywood, don't disappoint me with the new Batman. Well, I guess that's up to you. Shiro for $5. Can't think of anyone who wouldn't be thrown off by the white privilege line, but isn't there more of it? Everyone's political stance changes in the movie. Catwoman and the black mayoral candidate, that's another word I have trouble with, mayoral candidate, basically end on a very different place by the end. Do they? I mean, they trust Batman. And the mayor did get shot. Like, she went out there like, I'm going to do the right thing. And then she ended up getting shot. So, yeah, there were some changes, sure. But it just feels like there should have been more there to me. Just to me. Charlie for $20. Recently found the stream and have been loving it. Keep it up and let the dream live on. Iowa loves you. And we love you too, Charlie. Thank you for the $20. And Shiro, thank you for the $5. And your opinion matters here. It does. Robert for $1. If you are just saying all the white people were portrayed as evil, guess what? Those white people were based on comic book characters that were white in the comics. Would you rather them be race swapped so there were some bad black characters? Robert, it's a legit question. That's a legit question. It's not that they just use characters from the comics. I think it was more, I don't think it was the bad white people. I think it was the generic. I mean, you could ask Ryan this, and Ryan can, you know what? I will bring this question up to Ryan because I think it's an actual good question. I think Ryan meant that and here's what I'll tell you what I meant. I'm not going to tell you what Ryan meant. Ryan can answer for himself. The black mayor stuck out like a sore thumb in that city. Now, maybe there was more tour that was cut out. I don't know. But based on what I saw, it just goes to show that Hollywood's afraid to write black characters with complexity. And this goes into what Eric July says, that basically there's too much credit given to the white people in this, in the world right now, by a lot of people. And it really takes away, I'll use one of their words, agency. Okay. Agency, individualism, which is what I'm about. I'm not about this collectivist shit. Still, good question, Robert. And I will pass it on. Thank you for the $1. And again, your opinion matters here. And we have these discussions, and it's good. It's good. And if you think you need to call us out on something, by all means, call us out. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast, Az and Garrett. How's about you guys take a break from zombie parkour and get out of GRRM's elderly O-ring for 5 minutes and check out Frozen Caves in Valheim. Pretty damned kick ass. Oh, and don't invite Adam. Fuck that guy. Wow. Robert for $5 on the donation side. Thank you very much. Ryan, your explanation of your comment did not make it better, dude. You legit were complaining that there weren't enough good white people in the movie, and you took points off for it, which is weird because that's the exact kind of fan complaint you'd mock. I think he took points off for the agenda. I can't remember for sure, but here's what I think Ryan was trying to, what Ryan did say. This is the way I took it. No consistency. All right. So a previous super chat said, well, the white characters were from the comics, but they race swapped 2 white characters from the comics that were good guys, but they didn't do it with the bad guys. Like with one, not with one. And you didn't have to do black people. Why not an Asian? Why not a Latino? Why not a Filipino? Consistency. Or lack thereof it. But thank you. It's good to ask these questions. Zenny Biscuit for $3. Took a week off of everything. Sounds like I missed a lot. I needed to get away from the news. Watch several Bela Lugosi movies. Oh, that's awesome. And I think I got a thing for Eastern European men. I now am 30 and desperate. Since Zenny Biscuit. You are still very, very young. Very, very young. You're fine. Shiro for $3. I saw the movie at the theater in Brooklyn last night. I feel like I'm still in the movie. Hey, that was the cool thing about seeing the Joker. I saw the Joker in New York. Marksman for $20. Hey, guys, Drinker and Mahler, can you guys give your versions of the show line? I'm Mr. Frog. This is my show. I eat the bug. I ate the bug. That was my show. Goodbye. I'm sorry they couldn't do that, Marksman. I apologize. We're going to get, this says 4 of 10 from Big Prick for $5. So I'm going to read the next one first and then look up the first. Hopefully, I don't know if that's real, but I got to check. I got to check if there's actual 10 super chats there. So, but we'll do Meth Bear first for $10. We should enjoy this modernized and improved content we grew up with, so far as you could enjoy your grandma getting coffin bukkakied at her own funeral so much they have to nail the lid shut. Then you can carry the sloshing box to throw it to some ditch. Oh my God. Well, your name is Meth Bear. Now I get it. I thought that was a super chat number. No, that's the score for the movie. 4 out of 10 from Big Prick for $5. Too much plot is enabled through dumb shit. Mayor dies because he didn't look around. Bruce sneaks in the club because Dorman doesn't look left. The film reeked of bad reboot. Looked pretty well cast. Doesn't hold up to close inspection. And time will be the ultimate judge on that. You're right. You're right. And that is the end of the donations. Thank you for circumventing Mama Suzion. We are now going to get into the super chats. Super chats. Belmont Press for $10. I need help getting my project funded. Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf on Indiegogo. SJWs are already attacking me. Why? That's that. I mean, it doesn't usually take that much of a reason. I understand that, but yeah, let me know what it is. Patty Mackinson for 10 Canadian pesos. Can we all meet in the Lord of the Rings online, the Green Dragon, or elsewhere? Still free to play. Possibly. Yeah, I should look into that. Full Grown Man for $1.99. Corporate media, not mainstream. You're more relevant. I would say, yeah, corporate media is dying for sure. As far as like me being more relevant, I don't think so. But thank you. I do appreciate the sentiment. I do. I really, really do. Thank you for the $1.99. BMO Better. BMO Better. Sorry, BMO. BMO Better for 2022. Does a good video game adaptation movie exist? Story-wise and not just a visual treat. I can't think of one. I think there's some, there might be a couple of passable ones. Like some people might say Sonic. I don't know because I didn't see it. I can't think of one. It'd sure be fun to have a proper Diablo movie. Helva XHA3834 for $9.99. Ukraine is like Bajor during the Dominion War in this situation. Jesus Davila, thank you for the thumbs up for $20. Chris Webb for $2. Juice is and was truly underrated. The movie, yes. Went to a Hawaiian barbecue spot and everyone was masked up with no mandate. Why, I wondered. Placed my order, cashier had a CNN shirt on. Hail Friday Night Tights. Well, Brian Barlow, that answers your question. Thank you for the $7. The Prodigal Heel for 2 super chats, one for $2, one for $5. In a Snuggie, and did Batman parachute from a building in a Snuggie? No, I think he was using one of those little squirrel suits or whatever the hell they were. Garrett Barley for $19.99. Did people care that Billy D. Williams was in Batman 89? No. Thanks for everything. Batman is woke. Riddler is QAnon. The Prodigal Heel for $5. Yep. I called it incel, but that's essentially they see it as the same thing. And I called it incel because that's how Hollywood sees it. That's not how I see it. It's incredible that the people who are calling out the Joker were praising the Batman. That's all I'm saying. Busted Knuckle for $5. I'm way too low on cash to be calling your boot take out in a Texas accent. Them boots about as good as a pair of panties on a hog. Love the show though. Oh man. Gunblade Knight for $5. I just want to recommend to everyone to watch the movie Wag the Dog for no particular reason. Saw it in the theaters. Chris Webb for $5. Before I die, I'd love to unite all of you guys to invite all of you guys to Applebee's to talk shit over potato skins. LOL. I'd go. Tyrannus Cygnus for $5. Evil will always win because good is dumb. Yeah, Spaceballs. Mexican Oni for 2 super chats. Nothing to say for 150 Mexican dollars. Thank you. Hailstrom for $19.99. What bugs me about Begins is all the sword fighting in the beginning. You tell me, does Batman use a sword in the comics I never saw? If not, then why all the sword training? For the other people, I guess Batman just didn't like that part of it. It Me Token for $2. It didn't bother me that much. So Batman and Robin is goated. I will hear no arguments. Abomination AG for $10. Then I won't argue with you. Just so we're clear, I'm not a furry. I'm a werewolf. Also, F it. I'm plugging my channel. Let our voices be heard. Hashtag we will win. Abomination AJ, thank you for the $10. Spiderclaw 74 for $5. Anybody who doesn't pick Conroy is not a comic fan. He is the most accurate. Well, voice-wise, yes. I mean, Batman the Animated Series is the most accurate amalgamation of Batman in existence in motion. There is no other argument. I know there are some YouTubers who might try to go after Batman the Animated Series. There's always somebody. There's always somebody. I will not be one of them. I watched the first episode in prison, and because it aired on primetime. I'll never forget that. Darth Vader, 1999. Michael Keaton is my favorite live action Batman for voice acting of Batman, hands down. Kevin Conroy. Love to see you all on this lovely Friday night live stream. I thank you, Darth Vader, and Michael Keaton was great. Michael Keaton was great. Love Batman Returns. Love Batman 2, of course. John A for $5. Best Batman has bat nipples and Rambo as Mr. Freeze. Okay, John A. Like I said, there's always, we respect all opinions here. Okay, well, listen to him. I can't say we respect them all. That's not true. Orwell was a prophet, 1984 for $5. Kevin Conroy is Batman Beyond. In Batman Beyond, and Batman movie was real good. And the Beyond movie was real good. Yes. Puerto Rican Sasquatch for $5. There is only one Batman, and that is Keaton. Bale can suck it, as is the GOAT. Hail Friday Night Tights. Cobra Kai, best show on TV, $5 worth of super chat. Yes, you got it. You got it. Cobra Kai, damn good show. As is great. And I liked Bale. I did. The voice was silly, though. Star Trekker 58 for $14.99. Hail Gary and FNT team, only listening today as cleaning up after last 2 weeks record floods. Oh no, I'm fine where I am, but helping others where it is bad. Good man. You guys cheer us up. Think I will see Batman later. There you go. And that's our job. And hope the flooding has subsided. Star Trekker 58, and we really appreciate you helping people out. Thank you very much, my man. And thank you for the $14.99. Kate Junis for $4.99. All hail, fam. Powering through writing up my own performance evaluation for work now, and you guys are the only thing keeping me sane. Cheers to you, and cheers to you, Kate. Thank you. And wow, I hope you give yourself a very good performance evaluation. I will endorse it. Tony Blaze for 5 Canadian pesos. Thank you for the donation, Tony. We appreciate it. Rachel Adler for $19.99. Wow, man. A lot of my 6.6% female audience is here tonight. Just hours after last week's show, my daughter decided to arrive 3.5 weeks early. Oh, no. But yes, welcome Stella Rose to the fellowship. Oh, that is. I'm going to go. Oh, shit. I hit the wrong button. Stella Rose to the fellowship. All hail Friday Night Tights. Well, Rachel, is that your first? Rachel, is this your first child, or is this second, third? How many have you gotten? And congratulations. Congratulations. Kids are awesome. Daramouth for $5. Nerdrotic, look up the YouTuber Call Me Chato. Guy is a former network executive. His take on Rings of Power and Uncharted is hilarious, and it's called Call Me Chato. I will look it up. Okay, you know what? He showed up in my recommendations, and yes, he is funny. He is very, very funny. He is good. Somebody from the crew of Picard reached out to me on Twitter and asked me what I thought of the show. And I'm going to respond back like, I don't know if you just saw Nerd in my channel. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be a dick to crew members. Okay. I just don't. They don't write the scripts. They do their best with what they're given. And a lot of them are very talented craftsmen and artists. And I don't want to shit on them. I just don't. So, I mean, I'll be honest though. It's like, hey, I'm sure whatever you did was awesome, but I hate the show. Sorry. Oh, my. All right, we got through those. And here we go. We're going to start with Bass Player 2011 for $20. Rises could have been good if they focused on either Nightfall or No Man's Land. Trying to do both is too ambitious for one film. Thank you very much. I think they should have just done No Man's Land. Nightfall should have Azrael. Just ask Az. Aliquis Volt Tusis for $20. Harry Potter, it was a good book series, but for wizards named Harry, I have to go with Harry Blackstone, Copperfield, Dresden. Oh, Dresden Files is good. Conjure it at your own risk. The Dresden Files books is a great and excellent on audiobook. Check it out. Oh yeah, I am a Dresden Files fan. So you got me already. And that's because the author wrote a Spider-Man Black Cat book back in the day. And I met him at Comic-Con because he was located next to me for 2 straight years. A cool guy. Yellow Flash 2 for $10. Dark Knight Rises is a trash movie. Yeah, Batman's a quitter in it, dude. Me and Jeremy argued for a long time on this show over that. Batman was a quitter in it. Don't mean to sound like I'm copying a previous super chatter, but this week's marks a whole year since I've been watching Friday Night Tights. All hail and God bless. Edward Morris, thank you for the $5 and thanks for watching for a year. Sweaty Calves for $5. Hail all. It's been a while since I've commented, but I want to thank you all for getting me back into YouTube. My channel is small but growing, so thank you. You are welcome. Chris from Michigan for $5. Thank you for the $5. Sweaty Calves, thank you for the $5. When are we going to get a race swapped Roots remake? I mean, with Asians. That's what I think we should do. Roots with Asians. I want to see Chris Hemsworth and Paul Rudd as Kuta Kente. Or Paul Rudd. Classically chained, unbreaded. Touchdown. On paper, unbreaded. Toxic masculinity. My favorite subject for $5. I can now check mass ender of people off my bucket list. Hail Friday Night Tights. There you go. Samuel the Infamous for $20. Thank you for the $20. And Toxic Masculinity, thank you for the $5. I want to see a live action Kelly Jones Batman on screen. Come at me if you think it's hard enough. I won't. I like Kelly Jones. I'll stick to sailing the 7 seas with film, says Silver Ronin for £2 That is terrible. You should not sail the 7 seas for films. Nola Nerd for $5 brought my 10-year-old son to see Batman last night with a 9:30 start. He was engaged and followed the movie to the end. I wanted to show him white alpha male. Hey, cool. Good kid. Daniel Kersey for $5. What did you guys think of the new Batmobile? I thought it was okay. It's not my favorite Batmobile. The Batmobile in '89 is awesome. And so was the 1966 one. Johnny the Whiz Kid for $2. Today, the film Nosferatu turns 100 years old. Holy shit. And they don't know. I was thinking of the Lon Chaney film that they have all of Nosferatu out there. Yeah, that's amazing. Chris from Michigan for $10. I love that song. As a kid, I thought it was me. It meant that this stage of the film, as a kid, I thought it was mean that his stage name was Seal. I thought they were making fun of him. Like, haha, he's Seal because he looks like his face hit a boat's propeller. Oh, shit. Chris from Michigan. Smell logic. The man can sing, though. The man can sing. And the man can pull. So whatever his face looks like, it don't matter. Smell of Logic for $10. Gary, thanks to all of you for everything that you do entertain us with. Would like to kindly mention my channel here, please. Of course. I'm just a snide old lady talking about mythology, creatives, and pop culture. Smell of Logic. Go check out Smell of Logic. We love snide old ladies. Bell's Nickel for $5. The truck convoy has passed the 101-mile marker on the PA Turnpike. Hail to the truck convoy. Echoes of the Ancients for $10. You guys are a lot of fun to listen to. Thanks. I needed this. You are welcome. And we need you. Sean McClure for $1.99. The Batman was fine. They genuinely made an effort. Yes, I think they did. And I think they capitulated to the studio. But I think, yeah, it's hard to say with bad reboot involvement. Is Alec Baldwin involved in the Crow remake? Bored for £2 I hope not. I hope not. Remember the old Adam West Batman? Yes, I do. Great villains. Cesar Romero as Joker. Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. Julie Newmar as Catwoman. Robin had to wear special pants. Google that. Yes. OMG puppies for $20. Alan Coleman for $9.99. Hail Friday Night Tights, Drinker, and the Longman. Thank you all for making my weekend so great. And thank you, Bear Business One, for $10. Calling that an iconic role is like calling Jada a faithful spouse. Ooh, ouch, Bear Business. Hot Rod Lincoln for $4.99. Critical message for Jeremy. War Eagle. Modalicious for $5. $5 for Clown-Faced Garrett. Oh, there you go. And War Eagles for that Atlanta Braves hat that Jeremy wears. How am I supposed to say this name? Akunjinskos for $10. Is there a good list of key comic issues out there? Going through my 14 long boxes is fun, but looking up each comic is rough. I'm sure if you just Google Marvel key issues, DC key issues, you'll get some probably trash garbage tier website that will give you a decent list. Listicles are out there for it. I can make one. I could make one probably off the top of my head for Marvel for sure. For DC, it'd be a little trickier for me because of, like, say, Catwoman's first appearance, right? Or Batwoman's first appearance, or, it gets a little murky. Now, it does even with Marvel because there are prototypes for characters, but those aren't considered like first appearance in a lot of cases. But there are prototypes for Uncle Ben and Aunt May. There are prototypes for Spider-Man, at least in name. Yeah, there's prototypes. Tasty Waffles, 59 for $5. Did you all see the Babylon Bee Instagram post on Batman and Gordon? I saw the one where they said that Batman gets 1 star because there wasn't enough talk about trans rights or something, which was funny as hell. John Sislowski for $20, Australian $20. I come for the intro and stick around for the show. Hell, I'll tell that to Perry. He'll love that. Hale, I'm geeking out over the Kickstarter for Brandon Sanderson's 4 new novels. The Kickstarter just hit $22 million only 4 days. It's into its campaign. There are good, popular writers out there, says Chippy. Yes, there are, and they make bank. The Uber Geek, and I think I think Brandon Sanderson changed the game for publishing and crowdfunding. I just think, $22 million in 4 days will do that. The Uber Geek for 5 British pounds. Thank you you lovely bastards, for the shout out on Twitter. You're welcome. You are welcome. You deserve it, buddy. Thank you for being a part of the show. Keaton Smith, thank you for the 99 pence. I appreciate it. Obi-Wan to probe me for 2 Canadian pesos. Hey, Gary, how come you don't talk about The Expanse ever? I used to. Did you check out the last season on Amazon? What were your thoughts? Pertwee rules. If you look on some playlists on my channel, I talk about The Expanse quite a bit, but I think it fell off in the 2 later seasons. I was when they moved to Amazon, Obi-Wan, I was imploring them. I think that might be the right word. I was really trying to get their attention. Not that they were going to listen to me, and not release the 4th season all at once, to release it weekly. They ignored that. They also released the 4th season when it showed up on Amazon the week 3 days before the fucking Rise of Skywalker. So that big jump, that big in audience they were looking for, they completely blew it. And by the time everybody was done talking about the Rise of Skywalker, nobody was talking about The Expanse, and it buried the show. They went to weekly after that, too late. Then they freaking Me Too'd Cass Anvar, who was one of the biggest ambassadors of the show. We still don't know what he did other than flirt with some actresses. And you know what? If it was underage girls and there was actual proof of this, then he should have gone to jail and there should have been police charges. Okay? He should have gone to jail and there should have been police charges, but there wasn't. So they canceled him. Not sure what happened, and it derailed the show. Whether that's his fault or their fault, not really sure. We also had the 2 authors of the books who go under the pseudonym James S.A. Corey. It was Ty Frank and Abrams, and they went out and they're stupid on Twitter. They have always been stupid on Twitter. So they alienated a large part of their own fan base. I think the last season was an improvement on the 5th season, but it was still too rushed, and they never tell you who made the proto molecule. Fuck that. And yeah, I think their plan was to hopefully make a couple of movies, and they thought they would get picked up by somebody else, and they're not going to be. So that was it. Dylan Sharp for $13.99. I know it's late, but did anyone watch the Kingsman prequel to the Kingsman? Everyone missed this when it came out in December. No wokeness, great story and action, almost better than the first one. I wouldn't say it's better than the first one. I love the first one, but I liked the movie. It was probably my favorite movie of 2021 that I watched in 2022. I absolutely loved it. The Killer Spotlight for £5 just got out of Batman. Loved it. What's all the SJW bullshit you guys have been getting lately? May I ask? Well, it was over some Ryan comments. I like, it's not even close to the worst thing that guy's ever said. I'm just talking in general, not specifically about that issue, right? And Ryan is free to say what he wants, and I can say that I did not get a single email concerning it. I didn't get a single DM, a single complaint. And if I did, and I've gotten complaints about Ryan in the past, my response is, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your opinion, but Ryan is my friend. Ryan stays. XSL for $19.99. I have many ideas for Star Wars Saga, both prequel and sequel, but I don't know how to change it enough to make it look like the original and not just a Star Wars ripoff. Even if I make it, will it be compromised by Hollywood? Yes. You always have to compromise. That's why you should probably just make your own story, make it a graphic novel, make it a novel, and not make it Star Wars. And you can make it an homage. It's totally fine. Waylon Todd for £5 as Ryan, then Chrissy. You mean Ryan? As Ryan, then Chrissy. Is that the order of the people you like the most? That's cool. Mr. Trick for $19.99. Hail, friend of Night Tide's been watching for a while. This is my first super chat. As a longtime Catwoman fan, I felt like they chickened out and undercut her enigmatic, I can say that, qualities by naming her father and avoiding her prostitute dominatrix origins. Yeah, those still might be in there. And they definitely did make her bisexual. Aaron Pipes for $5. With those dark glasses, Ryan looks like a mercenary contractor going Ruski hunting. Ryan is wearing khaki shorts and athletic shoes right now, says Bear Business One for $5 with Velcro. Rich $9.99. You know what I can't unsee is knowing Paul Dano is the nerdy friend from Movie Girl Next Door. Yep. Drinker. And this is from Waylon Todd for 5 British pounds. Drinker, talk to Flash Gordon. Your talk to Flash Gordon was great. Now this just soy boys. Let's all talk. This is amazing. I don't know really what Waylon was trying to say there, but I read it. Vapor Knight 888 for $20. Hail Friday Night Tights. I don't really agree. I think a TV series about Gotham City Police Department would be pretty great. I don't. If it's done like the TV show Cops or Live PD, like a spoof show, doesn't have to take place in this movie time. Now, it'll be done to, well, for one, it's been scrapped. So it wouldn't have been great. And they agreed it's been scrapped and turned into Arkham Asylum. Mike Myers as Mr. Freeze. I love cold, says Modalicious for $2. Lon Baker for $19.99. They can't progress the stories out of fear of killing the golden cow they can milk for revenue. But they have. They've killed a lot of stories. They've killed many golden cows. Thank you, Lon. Sandy Q for $20. Thanks to the Friday Night Tights crew for being an oasis of intelligence and wit in the sea of idiots. Cheers, Sandy, the historian, and enraged and endangered species. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. DM Tahiti's for $10. Whoever had the idea to add Chrono Trigger music to the Geek Grind and love the choice in music. Hope everyone has a lovely weekend. That's Perry Chan. Waylon Todd for 5 British pounds. And you have a great weekend too. Thank you for $10. Waylon Todd for 5 British pounds. I see X-Ray. Girl. She got killed by Frost and that crazy woman, you mean Frost, who do movie reviews. Yes, Grace Randolph. So Southeastern Kaiju for $5. Here's an idea. How about the dominant culture get back to dominating stuff? Just a thought. Hashtag enough is enough. Word. Low watermark for $20. Odin, what's the prediction of earnings? I think he was pretty close. I think it's gonna make $1 billion. I do. Deano for 5 British pounds. In between the church and the cell, when he was out cold, surely someone would have taken the cowl off. Yes, that was a little ridiculous. Helga, knives and forks for $10. Hail Friday Night Tights. Chat. She says, sorry, it's Helga, so I'm going to say she. Any thoughts about the Beavis and Butthead in the works? Love you guys. Love your show. I will check it out. I will. Okay. That's all the time we have for now. We do still have some Friday Night Tights questions to answer from last week. So I will tag that on if it's necessary this week for the next Super Chat Square Up. That squares us up for March after that. And there are some February questions and things we need to get to next time as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy Friday Night Tights tonight with Christian Toto. If you're watching this in the future, then you can go back to the channel and watch it. Just look for the Friday Night Tights playlist, or you'll see it in the new release section. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thank you to everyone who left a super chat and a donation. You help keep the lights on, and we appreciate you. Have a good one.
lazy and evil. For years I've watched y'all allow Donald Trump turn you to crazy people. Where's that freedom ego when you must need them? You bugging like Beatles and lining up gleeful sticking needles in. 2020 was the year that y'all were losing it. Watching smart people I respect turn into lunatics. The rational became irrational. The avenue we travel through will have a few kickbacks will hassle you. Y'all fools so short-sighted, of course you write it. Shut it down, print money, you should be indicted. What you are doing is criminal. And been a fool, the end of you is gonna be the end of you, and your institute is crooked. Fools claiming I hate the police. Too stupid to understand that they are what they eat. Control freaks that'll use their own homies to seek power and then put them on the wall in a week. This industry is full of followers that holler when it's time to make a dollar, in positions that they wallow in are shallow, and they don't understand half the crap that they are swallowing, regurgitating all of it and acting like a scholar. Wait, this about all the contradiction that I can take. I'd rather you get it now, but truth is you kinda late. Your silliness is limitless and it would benefit your tendencies if you could just focus a little bit in the roller coaster of emotion that you going through. Control the pool, I notice you letting it rolling over you. Logic ain't in the conversation, ain't in the realm or reality. Basic as an Applebee's, y'all chattel see that poly pundit, that'll be the sheepdog. You know your teeth soft because you weak sauce. Teach y'all the basics of each fault. I be raw, rough around the edges like a tree saw. Got a lot of options, cause the optics always popping, and I'm dropping what I'm gonna do, adopting what I wanna do. Liberation, so every fake kid in 8 men that's pacing, cause I don't have to abide by the ways I'm just saying.
Do not come.
I'm feeling like a million Bitcoin. A lot of adventure.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame, dame